awesome, absolutely awesome.
I love it when a plan comes together. Definitely worth a look. Yeah, it was well on par.
Alright, and we're back. So, second movie to review for today. This one is Looper, directed by Rian Johnston, or Johnson rather, and starring Bruce Willis, Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Emily Blunt. Now, I first heard about this movie being made, or that it was in production. Concept sounded very, very intriguing and very interesting. You know, we're in a period where time travel has not been invented yet, but in 30 years' time it will have. And basically, Joseph's character is a guy called Joe, appropriately named, and he's known as a looper. What they do is the organised criminals send back, you know, someone who's done something bad, to 30 years in the past, and the looper shoots said person. Then they collect their silver and then go and live their life. And in this future, it's a very dystopian future. It's you know, they're quite, everything's not controlled, as it were. The loopers themselves pretty much have quite a lavish lifestyle, very, very, very luxurious. But at the same time, they get off high on drugs. These chemicals known as hypo that they put into their eyes, and they just pretty much just go on an epic high. Okay, so Joe is like one of the top loopers in this particular in the movie, and we learn that in the future, what's happened is, you know, they're starting to send back the loopers' older selves, and when that happens, it's the term is known as closing the loop. Therefore, your contract is ended. You've killed your older self. You're free, basically. And in regards to this particular movie, obviously Joe meets his older self, and that's where things go wrong. He doesn't kill his older self. He doesn't let him go. His older self improvises and is aware of the situation, and, you know, tries to let Joe know of what's happened in the future. And it's not so much the concept, but it's the story, it's the acting, the script, just everything, the effects as well. Looper, I would describe as probably the surprise hit of 2012. Okay, it's that kind of movie that you think you know what's going to happen, you think you're aware of the situation, but you're actually not. Okay, there were certain times watching this film where they're doing one thing and then it cuts to something else entirely, and you actually almost lose track of what is going on in the film. You really have to pay epic attention. You've got to pay serious attention to what is happening in this movie, because when eventually everything is revealed, it really does give you that interesting sense to say, ah, right, okay. So, I mean, without going too much into it, without giving too much away, which I do not want to do, because trust me, this is one hell of a film, and I was very, very well taken aback with how it was done, and it was so emotional as well. There was heart, there was emotion, there was courage. It just had the works, basically. And as I say, I think it is going to be the surprise movie of 2012. Emily Blunt's character, she's like the mother of this 10-year-old kid called Sid. Because the other thing that's interesting in this film is that there's 10% of the population have telekinetic ability. Okay, so it's all very, you know, X-Men type in a sort of sense. And even one of the loopers, character called Seth, played by Paul Dano, he's got TK powers, but it's very limited in a sense, in that all they can do is just move a metallic object, or, you know, move an object and stuff. You know, the boys show off by floating a coin, kind of thing. So it's very interesting. But this particular kid, this 10-year-old kid, he's called Sid. He's also got a telekinetic power as well, and but he is very, very, very significant to the whole film. How is he significant? Again, you have to watch. But he plays a very significant role in the film. But the way that it ended as well, it wasn't what I expected. And that was just the beauty of this film, is that so many things occurred that were unexpected, but once they were explained, once they were shown to you what was going on, you then had an idea as to why those things happened. Jeff Daniels is in there. He plays a guy called Abe, who was originally sent back from the future, so he knows what the future is like. He's aware of the future, but how these old loopers are being sent back is by a guy someone who's called the Rainmaker. And what he's about, well, he's about cleaning up the loopers themselves. You know, he's the one sending them back, closing these loops. Again, that's not a spoiler, but you will see how that all plays out, just how everything plays out, how it was that even old Joe gets sent back, young Joe's trying to kill him, and yeah, it's just wow. It is mind-bending in some sense. It's been billed as this decade's Matrix, and in some sense it actually has that sort of element of the Matrix itself. As I say, the concept is amazing. You know, they're in a future where time travel hasn't been invented, but in the next 30 years, once it's been invented, it's illegal, basically, and it's because of its illegality is why people are being sent back by loopers, you know, by the criminals of the future. And the loopers are the ones who are killing them, therefore they don't exist in the future again, kind of thing. So yeah, it does sort of mess with your head to begin with, but like I say, as you watch the film, as it goes on and on, you start to understand where it goes and what it's all about. Some comedy elements in there. There are some laughing moments in there as well, which is very good, because a movie of this nature, it is quite graphic, there's a lot of swear words as well. A movie of this nature does have, you know, it's good that it has that little balance where there's a bit of comedy elements, so you can, you know, you're having a few laughs in particular. There's one bit where Emily Blunt is seen having a cigarette after a certain occasion. I'm not going to reveal what actually happens beforehand, but she's having a cigarette and I just couldn't help but laugh myself. You know, it was just like, yeah, typical, isn't it? But these particular little things about the film is just what makes it so awesome. But like I say, I think overall, really good, well thought out. Rian Johnson has really done something amazing with this movie, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I've got to hand it to the guy. Ever since, was it Third Rock from the Sun, and then obviously 10 Things I Hate About You, he has really gone on to become one of the most formidable actors this side of the 21st century, basically. And he's getting some good roles. I mean, we all saw him in Inception, The Dark Knight Rises, you know, 500 Days of Summer. He was also in you know, G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra as well. So he's getting some good parts, he's getting some good roles, and I just think that a movie of this sort of caliber, I would not be surprised, and don't hate me for this, but agree with me if you want, but I won't be surprised if Joseph was put forward for a Best Actor nomination. I mean, he has been nominated for an Oscar before, hasn't he? I'm guessing for 500 Days of Summer, probably. I know he was nominated for 2 Golden Globes in particular. But has he been? Nope, he hasn't actually had an Academy Award nomination as such. Right, okay, but again, like I say, Looper could well put him on that map. Maybe not, but who knows. But even for Rian Johnson, it might even put him in the Best Director's seat as well. Bruce Willis, well, it's Bruce Willis, he was just awesome as always. Emily Blunt really surprised me. She actually did really well. I thought that for this type of movie, I didn't think that she could play that South American type, but she did really well, I have to admit. So Emily Blunt, hats off to you, darling, well done. But yeah, like I say, overall, wow, damn good film. So go and see it, trust me, you will love it. I know I did. I was very, very well taken aback by it. It was just an eye-opener, and definitely for me, surprise hit of 2012. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, that's it from me. Thank you very much. Bye.